and some of the great long-term investors have serious issues with it. Hi everyone, so a bit of a controversial topic that I think is interesting for a lot of us regular investors, which is about whether Robinhood is good or evil. Now, if you do use Robinhood, look, don't get too defensive about your stock trading app. Let's listen to both sides of the argument, and by the end of the video, you can hopefully see whether you are happy or not with them. Okay, now full disclosure, personally, I haven't actually tried the app, so it's pretty unfair for anyone to listen to my opinion. Therefore, I'm going to take the opinions of others from both sides and formulate an opinion from there. So let's firstly listen to some of the positives from the user experience side of things.
So then I landed on Robinhood, and it was the most user-friendly. It was the one that I understood, and it was more associated to a game, so to speak. I'm a big fantasy football player, fantasy basketball, love it. It was similar to that.
It was like using an app on your phone versus like being overwhelmed by an investing experience.
I definitely like the Robinhood app for simplicity. It's super easy to use, super easy to pick up, extremely easy to read. I have other investing apps as well, and they simply just don't compare.
Robinhood is very simple in the sense that I can open up a stock, execute a trade, I can buy an option, buy a contract in literally a matter of seconds. I think the user interface is a big part of that as well. Very easy to navigate. The learning curve, we're talking a matter of seconds, to be honest.
Even the options were easy to apply for, easy to get, and just they just made everything simple so almost anyone could trade. I mean, when we first started, we're kind of just listening to what other people were saying on other like trading platforms like StockTwits or Twitter or something, and kind of just blindly doing what other people were doing.
What really drew me towards Robinhood was the fact that they let you invest on your own. I could take my money, put it wherever I want it to be. I know where it's going. I know which stocks I'm invested in.
The very first day I started trading, I put $50 in, and then I immediately went and bought Coca-Cola stock, and then put $50 in, and then I went and bought Live Nation because I saw Mark Cuban do it. And then I looked at that app, I would probably say 100 times, like every 15 to 20 minutes until about 4 o'clock.
So let me say that I do actually like the fact that Robinhood is a clean app that is easy to use. That is important. I don't like complicated programs, and I'm not that tech savvy, so I would appreciate this. But I did get very uncomfortable by that guy saying he checked the app like 100 times a day until 4 p.m. So Robinhood definitely changed the brokerage market by offering commission-free trading and a simple platform to use. This has attracted tens of millions of people to the app, especially in the past couple of years. People just like this.
I'm not sure if it's like just pandemic related, but I think that the market has just been really volatile in general. So I've been kind of trading because I think it's like a short-term gain here and there. And also I just had more time during quarantine to like actually pay attention to it.
So Robinhood makes its money by selling the data for the trades that you submit, particularly market orders. Here is probably the best explanation that I think I've found.
Robinhood doesn't charge customers on the front end. It earns revenue behind the scenes through what's called payment for order flow.
The retail broker, like Ameritrade, E-Trade, Schwab, or Robinhood, they'll route the individual's trade to what we call a wholesale market maker. Two examples of the biggest are Citadel and Virtu. Robinhood makes money because when they route that trade, the payment that goes back, a certain amount of it will go to Robinhood. So it doesn't go to the investor.
Robinhood has the highest rate for equities and options. This isn't a new practice though, it's how the other brokerage firms were also able to eliminate commission fees. Robinhood makes most of its money off of order flow for options trading, a much more complicated and riskier way to invest in stocks.
So this brings up a really important point, and that is, what are the incentives for Robinhood? Do they actually benefit if you become a successful investor and you build your long-term wealth for you and your family? Or does Robinhood benefit if you are addicted to the app, making lots of trades, regardless of whether you are learning good lessons or not? Now, this actually reminds me a little bit of Facebook. The more they can make Instagram addictive and show you the things you want to see, the more ads they can show and the more money they can make. Does Facebook care how much time you spend on Instagram or whether you get addicted? Well, I think they probably do care, but the incentives of Facebook are to focus on engagement levels rather than your individual addictive tendencies.
I hesitate to say that simply because it has game-like attributes, that it's actually gamified. Its inherent nature is that it shouldn't really be considered a game by anyone. The frictionless experience, the mobile nature of it, the rewards that they give you for engaging in certain behaviors can certainly make it feel that way. And certainly we feel like we're winning or losing because somebody's keeping score. At the same time, the responses that people have to losses suggest that it's not just a game. You know, if it's a game, it's a very serious game.
Robinhood is what I consider my play money. I will put money into it. I will work to grow it to reach a goal that I have, so I can take that money and buy my wife a new car whenever she needs one, or buy myself a new computer or a new video game, or it's more for the fun side of it. I enjoy it. It's fun.
It can get really easy to blow through a ton of money. I just try to think of it as like a learning experience. Like, here's like a limit. It's like when I walk into a casino, I give myself $200.
So it's completely obvious they are promoting gambling and short-term minded behavior. This girl literally treats it as the same as if she's walking into a casino. And some of the great long-term investors have serious issues with it.
It's most egregious in the momentum trading by novice investors lured in by new types of brokerage operation like Robinhood. And I think all of this activity is regrettable. I think civilization would do better without it. Robinhood trades are not free. When you pay for order flow, you're probably charging your customers more and pretending to be free. It's a very dishonorable, low-grade way to talk. And nobody should believe that Robinhood's trades are free.
So Charlie Munger doesn't shy away from saying what he thinks and doesn't have to be polite. Robinhood, of course, didn't like the comments that Charlie just made. So here on the screen is how Robinhood responded to both Buffett and Charlie. There is an old guard that doesn't want average Americans to have a seat at the Wall Street table, so they will resort to insults. The future is diverse, more educated, and propelled by engaging technologies that have the power to equalize. Adversaries of this future and of change are usually those who've enjoyed plentiful privileges in the past and who don't want these privileges taken away. Honestly, I think this is amateur hour here from Robinhood. They shouldn't have responded, and now, well, in my eyes, they look like they're a bratty teenager thinking that old people are dinosaurs. Look, Buffett and Munger have the highest integrity of nearly anyone in the world, and for Robinhood to come out and say they are being elitist and don't want the world to change because it will disrupt them, well, this is just a lack of understanding of, I think, Warren and Charlie. Reread those responses here on the screen from Robinhood and just tell me if that isn't childish. Now, I want to finish by sharing a little conversation I had with a fellow YouTuber, Kelech, sorry about the name there, and we had a little discussion about the two sides of this story. I think it's a good way to wrap up the video. So he asked me why I hate Robinhood so much, and well, this was my response. I just really think Robinhood, the management team, have low integrity. That's a big statement, but look, just look at the product. It encourages overtrading. It apparently is supposed to be this fairer method of investing, yet I think it preys on ill-informed investors. I just think they don't stand for anything except making themselves rich and thinking about the customer as data rather than a real person. Exact opposite of their own ethos. Now this is his response. He said, I use Robinhood mainly because of the ease of use. It has done things to force the industry overall forward and make it easier for anyone to start learning to invest, which are good things. However, it does have practices that doesn't help good long-term investing habits and doesn't set people up to understand the risks of investing. So I don't blame anyone who doesn't like Robinhood, but I also know how to use them to my benefit. So Kelech has answered my concerns and did help me see a positive. If you do educate yourself, learn about market orders and limit orders, and understand long-term investing should be far superior over time, then using Robinhood can be advantageous because it is simple to use. But I think the management team at Robinhood are not the people I would entrust with my money, as I get just a bad feeling about them. That is super anecdotal, I know, but that's just the feeling I have. I have very low levels of trust with them. I cringe when I listen to any of the Robinhood management team speak. It just feels so grimy and car salesy. Plus, it is essentially a startup business, and they are always going to be a higher risk than the more established brokerage firms. I already take enough risk when I invest, so I would hate to have all my investments at the mercy of a startup like Robinhood. Sure, they have insurance to cover if they go bankrupt, but that could take years to sort out through the liquidation process. If you think that can't happen, well, I can tell you it can. It happened in Australia to my friends and family with a company called Halifax Investment Services. That was 3 years ago now, and people are still waiting for their money to be returned. Robinhood won't give you access to international markets either, so that limits a lot of your investing opportunities. So overall, Robinhood, in my opinion, is a very low brokerage option that I would struggle to support even if it was the only trading platform available. Now, I know I've spoken primarily about Robinhood today, but Webull and Trading 212 and all of those free apps, I pretty much put them all in the same category. Now, I use Interactive Brokers and Saxo Bank as my brokerage accounts. I'll make another video shortly comparing the brokerage accounts, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that one. Take a look at the Interactive Brokers demo account in the description if you are interested. Now, I think I just needed to get this off my chest today, as I do have a strong opinion about Robinhood. Look, I often don't have strong opinions about anything, so maybe I'm being too emotional about this. I could be persuaded to think otherwise if I had more information, but from what I have learned so far, this is my current opinion. Now, I can definitely take the criticism, so leave a comment about your thoughts, like or dislike the video, and I'll see you next time.